Walmart.
Hello. Yeah, I am Mr. Walmart today.
Mr. Walton. Whoa.
I got so sick after we finished last night.
No, are you sick?
Yeah. But now I feel maybe even better than we did when we were recording last night. But from like
For
8
a while
to
there.
8 to 11:30, oh, I was sweating but also
Uh,
shivering cold at the same time. I had a
you have fever?
migraine. I had a fever. My resting heart rate was 130 sitting on the couch.
Jeez
I was
Louise.
I couldn't even breathe because my heart was working so hard it felt like I was out of breath. I was just like, oh, my body
Right.
hurt.
But you feel better now.
Now it's just like sniffles and a
Like what I
sneeze.
have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that. But yeah,
Ratatouille! Ow, Ginger.
Ratatouille.
Ratatouille! Yeah. All right, I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Hopefully my phone doesn't overheat. If that, I guess you'll know what happens if I don't press my ears in advance.
Yeah. Alrighty. Let's
Wait, I
do.
gotta do an
Oh,
audio check.
okay, good because my ear itched.
Audio check. Audio check. Lukas talking Tui.
Oh,
Probably go a little more.
goodness. Pregunta? What does
Okay.
pregunta mean?
Questioning.
Pregunta? Okay.
Yeah.
I am ready. Let's do this. One, two,
Wait.
three. What?
No, no. I
You're not
can't
ready?
open the door.
Oh, I changed
Ready.
to my Audacity and I didn't see you walk away.
Oh. I said, wait up.
All right.
Ready.
One, two, three. Play.
Movie, movie,
Movie,
movie,
movie,
movie,
movie,
movie,
movie,
movie.
movie, movie, movie. Wow, we stopped at the exact same time.
As we tend to do. We're
Everybody smell
simpatico.
like chocolate. We're
And
gonna
we're
be
always
singing
finishing
chocolate
each
by
other's. Oh,
smell like chocolate. We're always finishing each other's smells like chocolate.
yeah. Well, you nailed it.
Well, we got a movie to watch or to talk about. We're talking about Rollerball.
I wish. My favorite podcast is doing Rollerball next week, actually.
It's so
The
funny
newer
because
one.
you brought it up a couple times during the podcast. You'll always say that. I like 3 different times maybe this season. Every time it takes me by
Rollerball?
surprise. I'm like, what the fuck is Rollerball? What is Rollerball?
It's like this like dystopian sports movie, I guess. It's like Tron meets Any Given Sunday, I guess.
What about Whip It, like the roller derby? That's what I think of when I think of when you
There's
say
roller
rollerball.
derby. Yeah, yeah. It's like Mad Max meets Tron meets soccer, I think.
Meets Ice Wars.
Meets Ice Wars. Meets Ratatouille.
You remember Ice Wars, your novel?
Um, is that yes, I do, of course.
Where
I've
all
written like 100
disputes are
pages of
solved
that.
on the hockey field?
Yeah, because of a historian's love of Wayne Gretzky.
That was a
That's
great.
right.
Man, TikTok is blowing up about Wayne Gretzky posting stats of his. He was he's untouchable.
It was a different era. Yeah.
I mean, it is a different era, but when you talk about GOAT, like everybody says Michael Jordan and Tom Brady, Wayne Gretzky needs to be mentioned more
It
because
needs to.
my lord,
As does Ray
Remy.
Bradman.
Oh,
As does Remy.
who's Ray Bradman?
I think he's a cricketman,
Mm.
a batsman.
Well, so does Remy. He's the goat. He's the rat.
He doesn't start the film though.
No,
It's
it's a man,
Gusteau.
Gusteau, narrating on TV. He's a famous chef from Paris. Black background, just the TV
Beloved.
and the screen. Talks about
He's
how
beloved.
all the best foods in the world are made in Paris by Chef Gusteau, and he wrote a book called Anyone Can Cook.
Anyone can cook.
And food critic Anton Ego criticizes the title, saying not everyone truly can cook. But this is where our story begins.
Yes, that's the core tension. But
Like
then
the shortest little prologue. It's 40 seconds. It's wonderful.
all you need.
You cut to Remy.
That's I mean, that's the benefit of having like the world's greatest short filmmakers, short animated filmmakers in your stable. You know what I mean? You can get that story out and gone.
You need to get there. Well, Remy, freeze frame on him
He's
breaking out of a window carrying a cookbook.
He's a little rat.
And he narrates, he's a rat, about his problems in life. He needs to rethink his life choices.
I mean, a very tropey way to start, but I think it works. You're probably wondering how I got here.
Exactly. But he has a gift, a heightened sense of smell and taste. You don't know that yet, but a heightened sense of smell, and he is being utilized by the rat colony to
He's a poison checker.
Yeah, poisonous food. But he doesn't want his job as food inspector, and he doesn't want to steal food like rats do. He's passionate about the smells and the taste. He likes food.
He's a bit of a, what you call it, bohemian in that regard, right? He wants to enjoy life and pleasure, and he's a little bit above all this, Brandon.
Of course, like he says, if I'm going to steal something, I'm going to steal the good shit from inside the house instead of eating garbage. Because what he does is he respects ingredients and he respects humanity, because humans have shown an inventiveness and a drive and a curiosity, and that's what he really appreciates and looks for in life.
Yeah, he seems to align more with the humans in that regard than some of his rat brethren who mostly just look to survive and gorge themselves.
Correct.
A family they may be.
And so he breaks into the old lady's home and he steals a strawberry and a piece of cheese. And this is just like, I forget about it every time I watch it. It's the most gorgeous filmmaking. Is the screen turns black behind him as he's taking bites, and each bite shows a symphony.
Synesthesia.
Oh my god, yeah, synesthesia of just how he's reacting. You can see it in the colors of them, and then he tries them together, and it's an explosion of flavor.
Yeah, and wordless, right? Again,
I've got goosebumps
maybe
45
seconds. Pixar, baby.
Remy has a brother, Emil, probably the biggest like scrounger of them all. He'll eat anything.
Yeah, he just like his father too. They don't have any qualms about being garbage rat people. That's who they are.
Yeah. And Emil is his name, is the only one who knows of Remy's secret life. You know, Remy walks on his hind legs so his paws aren't getting dirty when he's eating food with those paws. He sneaks into the house for food and spices. He watches television and he reads. Everybody's like, you know how to read?
He's like, yeah, of course I know how to read cookbooks.
He's an intellectual.
Yeah, and I think this is the start of him also seeing himself as a artist, as a cook. You know, so he's like building that craft. He's like working and honing that skill.
Yeah, cooking is an artistry. No matter what level
he identifies with that, and that's how he expresses himself as unique, right? And that's what he drifts to.
So Remy and Emil, they find a mushroom outside.
Ooh, and they want it.
The best thing you can find basically out there.
But you know, it'd be great with that.
Sweetgrass and rosemary and saffron. But yes, if they can cook it. But where are they going to cook it except above the chimney on the roof of the house? They're using that
during a firestorm.
Yeah, they're trying to smoke it. A firestorm?
That'd be crazy.
The fire is falling from the sky.
But they do get struck by lightning.
They do instantly cooking the mushroom. They survive. The mushroom is perfect how it's cooked now.
Yeah. Emil's like, we shouldn't do this anymore. And I was like, oh my God, this is great.
Emil does not have the passion of food to be struck by lightning again.
No, it makes the experience all the more better for Remy.
I'm sorry if I steal one of your quotes. I don't think I actually took it down. It might be one of your 68, but he's like, I can't describe it. It's kind of Joel. What would you describe this flavor as, Emil? And he just goes, lightning-y. And he's like, yes, lightning-y.
That's good. That's good.
But Remy, he realizes this isn't the best mushroom without saffron. So they got to get in the kitchen to get it. When in there, they see Gusteau, Chef Gusteau, on television. And he gets to learn kind of the background of Chef Gusteau, who lost a star after a scathing review from Anton Ego.
Yeah.
And then he died shortly after, and then he lost another star.
Yeah. It's
Which
tragic.
apparently...
For Gusteau. It killed him. It made him so sad that he died.
But also that's tradition where if you're head chef of a Michelin-starred restaurant, you lose a star.
What do you mean?
That's what they said in there. He had 4 stars, but then when Gusteau died, it's tradition that if your head chef dies, you lose a star.
That's bizarre. I don't know if
It's
that's
harsh.
true. It might make sense, but
It kind of does, yeah. But
gotta get that saffron.
While Remy's watching the TV, the old lady wakes up, sees him and Emil, and just, I mean, there are better ways to get rid of pests than a fucking shotgun in your home.
It's funny, yeah. Just unloading maybe like 90 shots in the house. Yeah,
she ran out of bullets. She
had to get more bullets.
Reload.
Yeah, and in the fiery explosion, reveals unfortunately that the rats have been hiding up in the roof and all over the place because she shoots out the banister, she shoots out the columns. They
right
all fall
around
out
the
of
chandelier. Yeah, it's too heavy. Emil led her right to him too. Remy was like, go a different way so it doesn't find the colony, but all of them come raining down through her ceiling. All the rats have to evacuate to the boats, but Remy doesn't
is funny
evacuate.
That they were all like, get to the boats. They had this whole D-Day plan ready.
I know. I was going to say it's a D-Day.
What's life without your art, Mr. Artist? So he has to go get the cookbook.
And it's the Anyone Can Cook cookbook from Gusteau.
Anyone Can Cookbook. And
he grabs it. He breaks out the window with... It's just like the opening, one of the opening frames there where it freeze framed. So this, let me tell you how I got here, shit. So now we're back to where we are, taking off the story. But remember, there was a thunderstorm, a firestorm. So rain is coming down, just pouring. And everyone's heading for their makeshift boats to go into the sewers. But Remy's so far behind. And fire. Remy's so far behind, he's got to ride his cookbook, basically, to catch up to them.
And still avoiding gunfire in a very emotional, disturbing scenes then when he loses sight of his family.
Yeah, they go off. You hear him scream, and then that's it. He's yelling for him, and he gets to a fork in the path. He can go left or he can go right.
I told my kids in class, I think last week, I said, you ever heard the Yogi Berra quote? You come to a fork in the road, you take it, and then they were like, that's so dumb, Mr. Lawrence.
You're supposed to choose the right way.
No, you're supposed to take it.
Mr. L. Rents.
Supposed to tell. Fuck yourself. Yeah, so Remy has to survive a very dangerous and turgid path down the sewer systems. And he's about to give it all up, right? When he finally surfaces.
Yeah, raging waters, waterfalls, and he's sitting on a little concrete area waiting for a sound or a sign, but no one comes. He's all alone. He's hungry, and he opens up the pictures of the cookbook. Probably not the best thing when you're hungry. But Gusteau from the cookbook comes alive.
Wow.
As a little apparition.
It's Ghosto now. It's Ghostatouille. Ghostatouille's here, and he in like a sort of King Hamlet-esque way leads Remy up to the surface of Paris. Right?
Yeah, he's his subconscious. Gusteau is, and
it seems.
Tell him, why wait and mope when you can go up and find food? He goes up, he sees like fancy dinner party celebrations with food galore, and he's like, bread, cheese, I'm gonna go for it. But Gusteau's like, nope, you can't do that either. So he tells him he's a cook, not a thief. He roams the walls. There were a lot of things in that one building. There was almost a homicide.
There were some mimes going on, right?
Yeah, a mime almost killed somebody. There was a classic Pixar Easter egg where you get the silhouette of Doug the dog from Up.
From Dougal, barking at him.
No, not from Dougal. From Up, which is
yet to be released at this time.
They're so good at that shit. Like Lotso the Hugging Bear from Toy Story 3's in Up, and it's like, God, you guys are
they knew. They had it all planned out. Well, the whole thing was Pixar planned out like 12 of their movies at one lunch in the 90s.
Yeah, the Pixar theory. Yeah, made it all at
It
once
all
in a
connected.
connected.
Yeah.
But he finally gets up, like you said. He makes it to the rooftop. Realizes all this time he's underneath Paris, and he's been led to Gusteau's restaurant. His own subconscious, Gusteau, led him to Gusteau's restaurant.
Gusteau's. And just quickly, I think I read this elsewhere, but someone said like Paris has never looked so good as in fucking Ratatouille, which I agree. Paris is a
Probably.
good dream.
Oh my
Even
god!
the
It looks
shitty
so
little
good.
apartment that Linguini lives in is amazing.
I mean, the first half, nothing to be desired. That little nook, though,
It's cool. It's
the view
cool.
alone has to
That's
cost him
fine.
so much.
No, it's fine. He's cool. He's cute.
Well, Remy peers inside Gusto's restaurant, and inside, it's a well-oiled machine of professional chefs. All but one. Linguini.
Linguini, the garbage boy, who
Yeah,
likes to panically experiment.
Yes, it's his first day. He brings a letter into the new chef Skinner.
My mom used to work here. She died. She said, "Give me a job."
Correct, Renata. And so he's like, "Well, we'll give you a job. We can make you a dishwasher and a garbage boy." And Remy is above watching the kitchen, kind of talking to his subconscious, showing off his kitchen knowledge. When they see Linguini, Remy says, "Well, that's a nobody. He's just, I can't remember the word for it, the garbage boy." But he's a part of the kitchen, so he's important. And he could even cook one day because
anyone can cook. Yeah, but not that guy, Remy says. No, not so sure, because he's throwing some shit into a soup there, right?
oh my god. He spots him knock the soup off the stovetop, completely ruins it by just throwing items in the soup. He threw whole stalks of like the whole celery.
Yeah. Well, yeah. and everyone feels the horror of Remy looking on too, as he's like, oh my god, I have to stop this just right away. Doesn't matter anything else. The hunger, everything else is gone. He has to, an artist, right?
He's leaning so far forward, freaking out, that he does fall into Gusto's kitchen. And first,
the little chase scene.
Yeah, his first instinct as a rat is to escape because of all the dangers of a kitchen as a rat and get out the open window. He makes it all the way to the window, but he runs right by that soup bowl to get out and realizes that he has to fix this. This is his calling.
Yeah, his soul won't let him leave it.
Although it's his chance to escape, this is also his chance to make something of his life. The music. So he's an artist at work, throwing, dancing,
grabbing, jumping.
Ennio, what's his name? Ennio Morricone. What's his?
No, Giacchini.
Yeah, his score is going. It's just gorgeous.
It's gorgeous, and it's successful as well. But he's caught by Linguini, the dish boy, right? Oh my god.
Caught underneath a strainer because Linguini saw him doing all this, and he realizes that this ain't no ordinary rat. But Chef Skinner comes by to scream at Linguini for touching the soup. He's not a chef.
Soup up. Can't do this.
But while he's being yelled at,
soup goes out.
Hands, we need hands. Hands.
Grabs it, sends it out to a critic, nonetheless.
Yeah, a female critic.
A female critic, not ego, but one who's just as mean or something, they say.
Yeah.
So the mistake soup goes out, much to the horror of Skinner, who just watches it go out.
And seconds later, like, I want to speak to the chef. Everybody's like, fuck. But no, it went to the food critic. She loved it. Skinner wants to fire Linguini regardless of her loving it. But Chef Colette, the only female chef in the restaurant.
She's a cook.
Is she not a chef?
No, she might be the sous. I think she's a sous chef.
No. That was the blonde buzz cut guy.
Well, Skinner's the chef.
He's the head. I thought they were all chefs, but he was the head chef.
There's only one chef, Brent.
Okay, so there's a chef, a sous chef, and then cooks.
And then cooks, yeah. And the sous chef, kind of rides in between.
Well,
And in my
cook
experience,
Colette.
the chef is mostly like what Skinner does. They get that accurate too. Does like paperwork and planning and stuff.
And then they do like the final checks before it goes out.
Yeah, or yeah, especially at a fancy restaurant.
Huh. Well, Cook Colette then stands up for him and says firing him would go against the mantra of Cousteau, saying anyone can cook.
Mm-hmm.
So because Colette stuck up for him, Skinner makes it her responsibility for training him as a cook now.
Yeah, he's in. He's got a job.
And Remy tries to make his escape a second time as everyone's distracted, but Skinner spots him. Everyone tries to kill him.
Freaks out.
But Linguini...
Rat.
Rat!
That's good. And then Linguini jars him, says, "I'll take him. What should I do with him?" They say, "Go fucking drown him. He's a rat.
Take him as far away. Yeah. Kill him, dispose of him as far away." So he takes him to a river and is going to dump him. But like, both Remy and Linguini know the situation they're in and share a look of hopelessness as they realize how they are both perpetually stuck in a place they don't belong. I was almost crying just from the look.
That's you. Plus, there was the great fake out from Remy too. He's like, "I'm gonna let you go, and we're gonna be partners." God. And then Remy just bolts.
Well, Remy can understand Linguini. He nods in response to the questions he asks. Linguini can't understand Remy, but he realizes that he can't cook. Remy sure can. So he's like, "We got to form a team." Lets him out. He's like, "You got to stick with it." Yeah, Remy immediately, the second see you later, bitch.
Yeah. But he does come back, realizes this is what they're meant to do.
I almost cried again.
Yeah.
As you see like him run away, because you can just see like the faded Linguini in the background like lose all faith in life and drop his head. Oh.
And then a little rat sneaks back.
And Linguini brings him to his home. And this is where we said the first half of Linguini's apartment horrendously small. The front door feels like it should open out and not in.
Yeah, that would probably help. Very cluttered, very small. The whole thing's tiny. Even the kitchen's pretty small, but it's a classic little French studio apartment. And because it's in Paris, it looks so good. It's perfect.
Yeah, it's a tiny little thing, and then a nook that's got wall-to-wall like glass bay windows just overlooking France and the Eiffel Tower.
Good nook. So they go to sleep. Remy gets to sleep in a little oven mitt. That's cute.
Yeah, it is cute.
They wake up, Remy's gone.
Shit. Can't trust. His fridge is open too and empty. You can't trust a rat.
Can't trust a rat. Let him into his house. But you can, it turns out, Brandon. You can trust a rat because anyone can cook, and he's making breakfast.
Made him some omelets.
Made himself a little omelet too.
Yeah, big omelet and then a little rat-sized omelet.
But he didn't get to eat.
Steal. Oh yeah, that sucked. He did steal some ingredients from a garden next door. He's like, "Don't do that. I'll buy spices." But they show up at work, and how's he gonna hide Remy? He doesn't know. He puts him inside his chef's coat,
right on his skin. But that quickly proves unmanageable, untenable, because he's squirming, he's biting, he can't handle a little rat running around his body, right?
Well, and Remy can't.
While he does it.
Also, Remy can't see while he's in there, so he has to be head poking out of the coat the whole time. And his only task as a cook is Skinner tells him that he has to recreate the soup, even if it takes all week. He has to.
He knows it's a death sentence because Linguini's an idiot.
So they're trying to find a way to communicate. Linguini and Remy are in the walk-in, just screaming at him when Skinner walks in and sees Remy briefly, just a split second.
Light off, back on, he's gone.
And he's like, "Oh, I saw the rat."
Yeah, he's like, "No, you're crazy." So there's a little bit of gaslighting going on.
So Skinner is suspicious of him now, but he can't prove anything. But where did Remy go? Just hid in the walk-in?
No, in his chef's hat.
The perfect disguise, because it's something hiding under there. He's able to see through it, and they by happenstance, they find out a way to communicate, because as he turns, he almost runs into a pile of dirty dishes. Remy yanks his hair, which makes him
Instinctively.
instinctively move.
Now they got a situation here. They can manipulate his limbs by waving around his hair.
And you cue a montage
That's
of them
Ratatouille, baby.
at home perfecting the hair pulling motions to cook efficiently. I know it's an animated movie, but I get very scared as they put the blindfold on him to do the trust, and they immediately start with the knife and the onion. I was like, oh no!
Yeah, wasn't there a shot with him having a lot of bandages or something too?
I think so.
Yeah.
They work on pouring wine. They work on putting the pasta in the boiling pot. All this stuff, even just walking around. But eventually, at the end of the montage, he's blindfolded. He's just dicing up. You can see Remy's just going. It's a symphony up there.
Looks natural. Art. It is.
And so back at Gusteau's, he is presenting the soup recipe with the help of Remy, and it's perfect.
They love it. Everybody loves it. Much to Skinner's chagrin.
Skinner's chagrin.
Yeah.
So he pushes his training off onto Colette now, who is a no-holds-barred, badass French cook who despises the male-driven culinary world she's found herself in and overcame all the odds to get here.
Yeah, there's some aspects of truth there in one of the more male-dominated industries, the kitchen. Only a handful of women I've worked with, and they've all been pretty badass and rugged figures.
You gotta make it in a male-dominated profession. You gotta. And all this time, you're like, okay, Skinner's not so bad, until you realize that he's meeting with merchandise reps who he is using Gusteau's
image and
face,
likeness.
his image, to make frozen food options to sell to make more money off of the dead Gusteau. Man, those were some racist ass pictures.
Food. Yeah, for sure. So to add on to Skinner's seemingly decreased degradation of Gusteau's, he's also hawking the name, selling it out.
Correct. And then he's filing through his mail, finds a letter addressed to him from Renata, Linguini's mother, and it states that he is the son of Gusteau, and that if there's no other heir, and Linguini comes forward, he can take over the business.
Yes, he's his rightful son.
But
so Skinner can't let this get out.
Nobody claims the will within 2 years of the passing, the previous sous chef, aka Chef Skinner, gets to take over the role of head chef.
A long interim period.
2 years, yeah. But they don't actually know if Linguini. This could all be speculation. This could be Renata just.
They don't know. She could be crazy. They said
she's trying to Me Too them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, Skinner's afraid of all he's worked for because of Linguini, and they've only got less than a month, so he's going to keep everything at bay while his lawyer does DNA test. He takes a piece of hair that's somehow still in Gusteau's old chef hat and is able to, it's not seen to us, but pluck a hair off of,
which is a good bit later.
Linguini. Yes. And Colette is teaching Linguini and Remy all the tips and rules of the kitchen to be a successful chef. Remy may have that raw talent, but you can see that he has much to learn from her about
the actual workings of the kitchen.
Yeah, processes and nuances, the keeping your station clean, keeping your sleeves rolled up, all these little things that can improve your efficiency and improve the looks and
stuff you only know if you've worked in a kitchen for a while.
Yeah. And
Mongo's here. He hates
Mongo. Oh no.
You don't like this movie. He gives it a 2 out of 10.
Oh shit. Well, I was actually going to ask him what he thought of a movie.
Oh.
Yeah. What
film?
What does Mongo rate The Bridge Over the River Kwai?
Mongo. Bridge Over River Kwai. 8.8, he says.
Shit. He really liked that film. He likes 50s cinema, I found out.
He was. Yeah. Nice. Gratitude.
Well, Colette also teaches him about how chefs are not snooty, but all have a mysterious background. She's teaching him about each of the different chefs and where they've been. And after all this, Linguini is so appreciative of her help through all this. But although she's this badass chef, she also shows a sense of gratitude and appreciation back for him listening to her and taking her advice. They have a nice little connection.
Yeah, they get along. They can find it out in this pirate ship of a kitchen.
Arr.
Arr.
Well, Skinner's driving through the alley by the restaurant when he sees Remy running right towards Linguini outside the restaurant door. So he reverses, sees Linguini. He's like, "Oh, I just dropped my keys." So he doesn't know if he's going mad or if he's actually on to something now.
Being gaslit again. A little psychological terror going on. Great
But
little developing plot.
They're in the restaurant, and man, I get that it's a high-end restaurant, but some of these customers were so uptight. They were like, "I heard the soup is great. I've had the soup." And they're like, "What else is there?" And they're like, "Well, what about the foie gras?" They're like, "We had that 8 visits ago."
That's crazy. Yeah. They want some off menu.
If
Basically, they're demanding it.
Give me something off menu.
I don't want this menu stuff. Yeah. That's what the specials are for.
At a Michelin-starred restaurant,
oftentimes not what the specials are for.
Oftentimes they'll pick your meal for you.
Yeah, that's right. So they go back. They're exasperated. They're just we need something new.
They're like, okay, we're gonna dig up Gusto's old recipes, and Skinner, because they like the soup, they're gonna make him make it all his own, prepare it for the customers.
They're setting him up.
Yeah, Skinner pulls out an old recipe that was a disaster called sweetbread,
which is gross, like guts and innards of a cow or something.
Yeah, I don't know how it was sweetbread. It was literally like
what's called.
It was like
that's a real thing.
I know, but like it was like beef liver skin.
I don't know why it's called that, but that's a real thing.
Licorice anchovy sauce.
Yeah.
And I was like, what in the?
So it's a challenge.
Yes. Remy hates the recipe.
Fuck that, he says.
Especially that anchovy licorice sauce. They make
They're
it all
off menu. We're going off fucking recipe.
And this is something that Colette told Linguini, is that if you want to make it, you follow the tried and true recipes. But the last second, he puts a different sauce on there as it's going out. And the customers love it.
They go nuts. It's not gross anchovies. Remy and Linguini have done it again.
Yeah, it looked like it was a citrusy kind of sauce. He had some blood oranges, and he had maybe like a pear, and he had some basil.
It would be impressive to make sweetbread taste good.
Yeah, right? Everyone loves it. Everyone's ordering it. And afterwards, after the night ends, everyone celebrates. But as they're celebrating, Skinner, underneath Remy's hat, spots a shadow of a rat in like the perfect lighting. Linguini puts Remy outside to take a rest for the night, and he comes back in. Skinner tries to rip the hat off, but doesn't see anything as Remy was outside. But he's like, I want to chat with you, Linguini. Just figure out, where you're from, how you're doing this, all that. Let's see if we can get something out of you. So he brings him in and gets him drunk off the finest wines.
Drunk off his ass, if you will.
And I thought
it's probably $1,000 bottles of wines. Yeah,
I know, right? And they probably had like 4 of them.
Yeah,
getting drunk in a kids movie is not super common, but I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, that's good. It's like wine drunk. They're fine.
But while we're enjoying this, Colette is not, because she's jealous of the attention that he is getting over her after she's put on all these years and hard work of service.
Even though she likes him, yeah, she's like the real genius, she thinks. The true working broad.
This is where things get interesting. Remy is dining outside when he finds Emile digging through the garbage.
Emile.
It's his brother.
Bro!
But he doesn't want his brother eating street garbage. He was eating a literal wrapper.
Yeah, he's like, bro, I got this great shit right back here. I came off some fucking sweetbread.
And so he breaks into the walk-in and steals some ingredients. Even though his Gusto conscience is telling him that this could jeopardize him
Yeah.
and Linguini.
This is my family, bro.
He does say, "It's my family, bro."
That's the ghost. Yeah.
This
The
is where he
ghost
turns gangster rap. He joins a gang.
Remy does it. The Bloods, in fact.
But he brings food out for a meal, and we get the same synesthesia, color squiggles, all the flavors across the screen, just not quite as vibrant as when Remy would eat
Pretty
it.
dull. But
You
a little
can
bit there. He likes
you
it.
can see that Emil is trying to do something, but it's not as a heightened of a sense. But as Linguini's drunk off his mind, Skinner's trying every trick in the book to get him to confess anything about rats. Not that he owns a rat or that he's working with. He's like, "Have you ever seen a rat?" And he's like, "Nope." But then he just starts babbling about Ratatouille.
About Remy?
No, about
the dish.
The actual dish. Because he's like, "Why would they name it that? It's Ratatouille." Sorry if I stole one of your quotes.
Probably. We'll talk about that later.
But Remy leaves the restaurant and he actually follows Emil back to the colony to see his family. He tells his dad that it's great to see them all here, but he wants to leave the colony, and he lets it slip that he has observed humans and found out that they're not as bad as his father says. His father's name is Django.
That's a great name. Amazing name, Django.
Django.
Yeah, Django.
But Django wants to show Remy something.
His real mother.
What? No. He brings him to a storefront that specializes in rat killing devices. He shows him that rats and humans are and always will be enemies, but Remy doesn't believe that all are bad, and he leaves to explore his passion.
So underneath all of these great themes of art and creation and beauty and all that is also some like pretty strong racism hints, right?
Mm-hmm.
Prejudice. Yeah. Great. Pixar. They always got to have it.
But Remy has pride. It's almost like Pride and Prejudice.
Sure is. And War and Peace.
What a great name for a character from Sky High, bringing that up again.
War and Peace.
Yeah, his first name is Warren.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Peace. Yeah, that's good.
Can you believe Nicholas Braun was in Sky High?
I can. He was huge even then.
Well, Remy comes back to the restaurant and finds it completely empty except for a passed out and hungover Linguini in the next morning, who is tasked with cleaning the whole kitchen. That's a tall task.
Yeah, why is that a punishment? Something?
I get
just
like
you're a newbie, you do this shit. Pays them kind of.
Nobody else cleaned up their station. They don't have somebody that specialized in cleaning. That's rough.
Yeah. Even when I worked at the Iron Horse, we had an overnight crew come in and clean everything.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I missed the Iron Horse.
They were some rough ass characters. The overnight cleaning.
I bet.
Rough ass motherfuckers.
Remy's in there with Linguini passed out, and Colette shows up to work.
Two limbs people, yeah. Combined. That's all their limbs. They only had two of them.
Shit. Each of them had one, or one had two and the other had zero.
There's four of them. They had two arms combined.
Holy shit.
No, I don't know if that's true, but they were rough ass crew. Anyways, Remy.
Yeah, he's in there, but Colette shows up. He doesn't know how to get Linguini to do anything because he's basically unconscious. So he hides under the hat and he's yanking the hair just to get him to stand. Put some sunglasses on him.
Which pisses Colette off. He's too cool for this shit.
Yeah, she wants to talk to him about how the meeting went. But this is classic, like, physical comedy because Remy can only make the asleep Linguini emote so much. Every time he turns, he's just like,
like, don't give me that attitude, Linguini.
And after no replies over and over, she tells him that I thought you were different.
He is different. He's just hungover.
And maybe he thought that she was different too. So she smacks him in the face, which wakes him up and confesses. She's like, I can't even believe I liked you, but not anymore. So she starts to storm off to her bike. Linguini stops her.
Kisses her.
Well, he's going to show her his secret. He also confesses that he loves her advice. But he's going to show
like,
him.
I'm going to be crazy. You're going to think I'm crazy.
He starts to lift his hat, and Remy pulls his hair forward, leans and kisses her. She kisses him back. It's a beautiful romantic moment.
And doesn't give away the rat secret either.
This is where we finally get reintroduced to Anton Ego, because a publisher comes telling him that Gusto's is on the rise again.
He said, I can't be. I've put those sons of bitches in a body bag.
He's the best critic. He gets the last word, so now he's going to attempt to take them down again. And back in the kitchen, the lawyer tells Skinner that Linguini is Gusto's son.
Wow.
Skinner's just losing it in front of the lawyer over the rat and the game of cat and mouse they're playing.
That was good.
Ooh.
And the guy left out too. He said it's crazy too because they thought that Linguini was a rodent at first. They had some bad sample.
I had to do a second test. It came back as a rodent the first time.
And then Skinner's like, I got him now. I fucking got him. I'm going after it.
I either go after it or there's only 3 days left and he can wait that out. But Linguini is just so infatuated with Colette. He's starting to disobey Remy's movements and everything in the kitchen. He's starting to take Colette's advice more than Remy's now. And additionally, they end up going on a motorcycle ride together. And he's still wearing a chef's hat, not a helmet or anything. Remy falls out of the hat and into the street where cars almost run him over, and then everyone views him as the rat that he is and tries to kill him. Remy realizes it's crazy.
It's crazy.
He realizes that maybe his dad was right. There could only be a few humans that actually have this sort of empathy towards rodents.
And the majority are not meant for us. Might be true.
But he shows up at Gusto's. And he told Emile to keep it a secret, but he's invited so many of his friends to the alley to make Remy get them food. Remy doesn't want to disappoint his family, so he tries to break in and steal more food.
Yeah, it's like a family. Plus, he's spurned on the fucking humans, right?
Sure, but the fridge is locked, so he's got to go in Skinner's office, get the key from his desk, and when he does that, he finds the documents.
My God.
Realizes the truth. And Skinner walks in on Remy on his desk. Again, the rat!
The fucking rat of his nightmares, of course. Yeah, goes absolutely.
He sees it. Remy escapes with his documents, and now you get a big moped chase scene, jumping onto boats.
This is good. Remy the boat jump is great, right?
The second boat jump was even better, where he used the documents as a wingsuit.
Fly over.
That was great. And he's able to escape. And so Skinner comes back to his office without any papers to see Linguini and Colette in there with the paperwork, taking over ownership of Gusto's.
They got him. Legally, it's theirs.
Which is crazy because they also let Skinner go. They were like, yeah, you're not going to be just a cook or anything anymore. You're gone.
Yeah, he's been acting like a cunt, though, too.
He was serving cunt.
He was serving a lot of cunt.
And
Skinner always is a lesbian icon.
Now you get that classic French song montage as they change owners. The Shadi
It is great. That was good.
They also burn all the
restored.
They burn the frozen food. They buy. Linguini bought a fancy new apartment.
It almost end the movie right there, except for the rat stuff. Right?
Yeah, I mean it's a happy ending. They've got everything they need. Linguini and Colette are spending more time together, but Remy is stealing even more food for more of the colony.
Yeah, he's not satisfied. He still has that out for the humans as well.
And Linguini ends up at a press conference where he's telling the reporters about how he became such a hotshot, how he learned about the will and his inspirations. Throughout all this, he doesn't mention Remy once, for obvious reasons, but Remy is honestly very hurt and upset by this.
Yeah, well, and he gives credit to Colette as well, too. Right?
Correct.
he's like, there's a special person out there that's been helping me, and it's Colette. And he's like, come on, man.
I mean, he couldn't be like, and it's this rat.
No, but he could have been like made something up almost, been like, real special friend of mine, been in my thoughts recently or something.
Sure. And during the press conference, Anton Ego makes an entrance, tells him he will be returning tomorrow night with high expectations.
That's a the LeBron of French food can do this though.
Yes, and
Michael Jordan,
Remy,
I'm back.
Remy's upset. He's acting maybe a little stubborn and selfish, but for rightful reasons. Linguini's had enough of him though, and he kicks him out for the night. And all this happens while Skinner was on the rooftop and sees Remy and realizes Linguini's secret. He's not a chef. Remy can cook, but Remy wants revenge.
He wants to. He was embarrassed. Yeah, it has to get wrapped up. Yeah, Remy says, "Fuck you, I'm here."
He tells his brother
down
to invite the whole colony to tonight to the restaurant for a goddamn feast.
Yeah, we're gonna go buck wild on the place.
All of them are breaking in, eating so much food when Linguini shows up. I did like the small little detail of all the rats trying to hide amidst the white and black tile on the ground. They all curled up in the black squares.
That was good.
Yeah. And Linguini, he's opening up to Remy that he didn't see him at home and he realizes that he was too harsh, but he flicks on the lights. Oh no, he gets hit in the back of the head with a bunch of grapes because Emile just couldn't stop eating.
Yeah. Those little debris.
Finds out, throws out all the rats, including Remy, wanting him not to come back, or in quotes, he'll be treated the way restaurants are supposed to treat pests.
Damn, it's harsh.
So Remy, dejected, retreats into the night with the colony.
This is the low point now.
And that evening, he's found by Emile near the restaurant, observing Linguini's poor leadership because he doesn't know how to cook. And Emile's like, he's like, you know what? Why even go in there? We got great food out here. There's a piece of cheese out there, but it's a mouse trap. It's a cage.
It's a fucked up, Brandon. That's what it is.
It's fucked up. Remy's too smart. He realizes the situation, pushes Emile out of there, and he gets caught himself trying to save him.
And it's the trap. It's Skinner's.
Skinner.
Weird Skinner's.
He wants Remy to work with him to create new frozen food since he's not a head chef anymore. But at
he's a genius. He knows it.
Of course. I don't think Remy would enjoy making frozen chimichangas.
No, but it'd be like a slavery thing.
Yes. Well, Ego arrives at the restaurant. And instead of ordering off the menu, he challenges the chef to hit him with their best shot, make what he believes is the best thing. Now, I will allow Ego to order off menu.
That's different. That's different than the guy who's like, I'm bored. Yeah, Ego, he's like, give me your best shot. I don't care. Whatever you want.
Additionally, Skinner's hiding in a trench coat in there too. He wants the same dish that Ego's going to be served. And Remy is still in the cage, like in the trunk of a car, gets freed by his father and Emile. They pushed a goddamn like gargoyle statue off a rooftop onto the car.
Yeah, get him open. Then they like lock. Am I handcuff somebody too, or am I misremembering?
Oh yeah, that's coming up. That's coming up. Thankful for all the help, he returns to the restaurant to help Linguini, and the chef spot him and try and kill Remy. But this is where Linguini steps in and stands up, protects Remy, his little chef, his family, confessing the truth to everyone that he is not some prodigy. He is just a normal dude, and the real chef is Remy. And honestly, I get it. All the chefs stunned walk out on him in the restaurant. Even his dearest Colette. They've all abandoned him. Oh, Mongo's in a toy.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's being very bad. This is not like him. Normally, he's very good during the recordings. Is Mongo.
Linguini, without any other options, nobody there except for Remy, retreats to his office, believing that there's no hope for Gusteau's. But Remy realizes he's
Forgot
got to.
Brandon.
What
He's
did
got
I
an army
forget?
of cooks.
Yeah, Django comes in and admits that he was wrong. Seeing Linguini stand up for Remy has changed his attitude and perception about humans. So he recruits the whole rat colony to help out, and they're going to follow Remy's orders to prepare the food.
And you got a whole army ready. And it's a good montage, right? Like a battle scenes. They all got to wash their hands, make sure you don't touch the food, right?
Team 3, you guys are sauces. Team 4, you're
Yeah.
your
Your other sauces.
yeah, whatever it was.
Team
I
5,
did
some
love
more sauce.
I did love the moment where the big guy,
Body by
the
Jake.
body by Jake, they were like tenderize that steak, and he's just the rat's just fucking
Eat the
punching the
fuck out of it.
steak.
Yeah.
But they get everything into tip top shape. They're moving when a health inspector arrives and see the kitchen full of rats. One of the teams is sent off to swarm him, tie him up.
They gotta bound him and put him in the closet. Yeah, they have a hostage now.
He's bound and gagged and thrown in the pantry. So before long, after a thorough, like I said, cleaning and all the system and everything, I do wonder how good of the supervision Remy gave, because like even if a professional chef were giving me instructions about what to do, when and where, I don't think I would make the perfect meal to.
You don't have a lot of you don't have a lot of mistake room, right?
Yeah.
Margin of error, if you will.
But
some of these cuts and temperatures, yeah.
They prepare everything. Linguini, knowing that someone's gonna have to wait tables, he puts on a pair of roller skates and starts to serve the guests. He needs to be a waiter for the rest of his life.
Yes, he's fire at that.
He's
flying around his frantic brain.
So good.
He's great.
And
now the moment of truth.
I started to almost cry here too. Colette's riding on her motorcycle away, stops at a stoplight and looks to the side and sees the Anyone Can Cook cookbook. And she comes to this rationalization.
God damn it, she says.
That she's got to go back.
I have to go back. Yeah.
It's the mantra.
My ass.
So she gets there. She's hesitant, but she asks what Remy wants to prepare for Anton. And he selects Ratatouille.
Ratatouille, the perfect name for the movie. It says rat in there, right? Well, peasant dish. What? She says.
Yeah, a French dish too.
Peasants.
It's an old style recipe that's not up to the standards of Gusteau. But soon enough, the entree's prepared and goes out to Anton Ego.
Looks great.
Oh my, it does look great. And here's where I'm crying, because they serve him the food. He looks at it. Skinner looks over it. He's like, Ratatouille.
One
he writes
bite
something down. Oh.
Immediately transported back to little Anton when he was fucking sad and his mom would comfort him with food. Yeah, it's great.
Oh my god.
Food.
He was somebody that grew up from nothing. He grew up eating Ratatouille all this time. It strikes
the love
a chord.
And care, yeah, that his mom put into it. Shows he did have a little soul in there, little Anton did.
Oh my god.
Gets up and leaves immediately, right?
No. He's overwhelmed with emotion.
Oh no, he stays. That's right. He stays forever and then he leaves after closing.
And Skinner tried it too. He was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing." So he runs into the kitchen. He's like, "Who is responsible for this?" Sees rats. They tie him up too and throw him in the pantry. But Ego's heart is just so warmed by the meal and insists on thanking the chef. But he's got one rule: gotta wait.
Well, everyone leaves, yeah.
And he does without much hesitation. Right. And then that evening.
That's right. Everything. Then he goes back without a word. He sees the whole operation, is introduced to Remy, and then that's when he leaves without saying it.
Yeah, it's mostly just Remy narrating. Is like, okay, they revealed me to be the chef. He didn't really say anything except for a handful of questions and nods. We showed him everything. He thanked us for the time, and he left. And after leaving, he writes just a glowing review. Proclaiming that.
Yeah, and it follows the ethos of Gusteau. Anyone can cook. Got a little chef that challenged that notion, and it's true. It's all golden. We're crying, right? The movie's themes are crystallizing right in front of us. And then if the rug's pulled out under us as well, because they're like, well,
The health inspector, yeah. Well, because he was neglecting to reveal the true identity of Remy. He kept just saying, this chef, whatever, the finest chef in Paris. But yeah, good fortune doesn't last, and they get shut down because of the health inspector. And obviously, the whole restaurant is shut down. Ego loses his job due to lack of credibility, knowing that there were rats in the kitchen and for promoting it. But it ends up that this is all from a perspective in the future. Remy is telling this story to his family and a few friends sitting at a little rat-sized restaurant and states that Ego is now working as a small business investor, and they have opened their own bistro named La Ratatouille, where humans and rats in like a hidden separate chamber are both welcome. Everybody can eat. Gusteau's legacy lives on, and him and I just love the last line. He's like, would you like some dessert tonight? He's like, whatever the chef wants. And they just share a look, and it's just, oh my God.
And he's crying again, and that's Ratatouille.
Hands up to the sign, La Ratatouille, and that is the end of what a movie. I didn't finish this all in one sitting. I actually had to watch.
Oh,
that was a good bite. Holy shit.
Oh, he's being bad.
That I watched like the last 22 minutes in my car at lunch today. So I was just sitting there nibbling on food, just crying in my car. But what a movie.
No, I hate animals now, actually. So, bad movie.
We're going to cats ratings and reviews, rats ratings and reviews, quotes, rats and rodents.
You know what's coming at us.
Quotes, rattings, and rodents, baby. You like that?
Yeah.
Okay, Lucas, tell me what happened to your 68 quotes.
Well, wait, whoa. I need to have 68 for this movie?
Yes.
But Brandon, this is an animated movie. We know we don't do quotes for animated movies.
I have 12. I have 12 quotes.
Well, isn't that a house rule? We don't do quotes on animated movies. Like, it's impossible to do so.
No, the house rule is that if you're within 8, you win and Seth loses.
It is a house rule. So
I think
I was meant to do 68 quotes this time.
You were.
Fuck, I'm sorry, listeners. That's on me. I mean, it's a little on you, but we had a rule that you don't do quotes for animated movies, and it's been that way
never established
for years.
Never established.
Spoken and unspoken. So that's on me. I guess.
It is on you. Because last week during Hotels for Dogs, you said 68 for Ratatouille. Did you not remember that it was animated?
Nope, I did not. I thought it was a live action rat film.
Okay. Well, I have 12 quotes.
Okay. I'll have 6. How about this? I'll have 74 quotes for the bracket.
For the bracket, okay.
Yeah.
4 from IMDb. I'm going to do 3 of them and then leave the long one for the end. The first one from Gusteau. If you focus on what you left behind, you will never see what lies ahead.
That's good.
This is just full of profound quotes.
Nuggets.
Gusteau on TV, another quote says, "You must be imaginative, strong-hearted. You must try things that may not work. And you must not let anyone define your limits because of where you came from. Your only limit is your soul. What I say is true. Anyone can cook, but only the fearless can be great."
A little elaboration on this famous
shit. And then taking Ego's order, not linguine, but the normal waiter, says, "Do you know what you would like this evening, sir?" And Anton Ego, giving the most pretentious thing, goes, "Yes, I think I do. After reading a lot of overheated puffery about your new cook, you know what I'm craving? A little perspective. That's it. I'd like some fresh,
Yeah.
clear, well-seasoned perspective. Can you suggest a good wine to go with that?
Like, what are you talking about?
That's a power move.
Good. He's a good critic.
Um, a great quote from Remy. If you are what you eat, I only want to eat the good stuff.
Hmm.
Oh my god, I got goosebumps.
He wants to be the good stuff. He's an
Oh my
artist.
god. Um, oh, great just wordplay and timing. This is Skinner shouting out Linguini after the soup mishap. He goes, they think you might be a cook, but you know what I think, Linguini? I think you are a sneaky, overreaching, little, and then he spots Remy and he goes, "Rat!"
Hmm. It's good.
That's so
That is
good.
good. Probably gonna say that. He's probably gonna say Jew because he's a racist. But yeah,
Jesus Christ.
well, he's a bad guy, Brandon.
I
Yeah.
mean, he is. Linguini talking to Remy. Let's figure this thing out. You know how to cook, and I know how to appear
human.
human.
No, that was one of mine.
Not be no, you didn't take any, remember?
That's right.
Um oh, when she's talking about all the different cooks, Colette goes, Horst has done time. He's like, what for? She's like, no one knows for sure. He changes the story every time. And then you get a montage of him changing the story. He goes, I defrauded a major corporation. Then another one, I robbed the second largest bank in France using only a ballpoint pen. Then another one, I created a hole in the ozone layer over Avignon. And then another one, I killed a man with this thumb.
It shows, yeah.
And I honestly think it's
Big
not him
line.
changing stories. I think it's all four true.
Oh wow! All in one concussive event.
Yep. When Linguini's drunk and Skinner's like, where did you train, Linguini? I'm sure this isn't your first time cooking. And he goes, no, this is my 2, 3, 4, 5th time cooking. Monday was my first time, but I've taken out the garbage lots of times.
He's good at, yeah.
Oh
Good
my
drunk.
god. Pissed Skinner off so much. After they see the storefront with all of the mouse traps and everything, Django and Remy are going back and forth, and he goes, you can't change nature, son. And Remy goes, change is nature, Dad. It's the part that we can influence, and it starts when we decide. And he says, well, where are you going? And Remy says, with luck, forward. Oh,
you're cooking.
goosebumps.
Whichever of the 9 screenwriters threw that in there, you're cooking.
Oh my god, I'm about
That
to
is good.
cry.
That's good.
Jesus Christ. This is just hilarious. This would have been one that Seth would have took down. It's when Remy is walking the streets after that, feeling like, I can connect with all humans, and he's walking across the street up to people, and he gives them the finger guns. He just goes, hey!
That's good. That is great.
And my penultimate is when
himself. Yeah.
Linguini is confessing or gonna show Remy to Colette, and he goes, you inspire me, and I am gonna look like a big psycho idiot, but I'm gonna show you. I call it my tiny chef. Here I go.
Thought he was gonna show his penis.
Yes, my tiny chef. You inspire me, but I'm gonna show you. And then my last one, like I said, it's long. I took it from IMDb, but
The review?
It's the review. It's the theme. Anton Ego's review goes, in many ways, the work of a critic is easy. With we risk very little, yet enjoy a position over those who offer up their work and themselves to our judgment. We thrive on negative criticism, which is fun to write and to read. But the bitter truth we critics must face is that in the grand scheme of things, the average piece of junk is probably more meaningful than our criticism designating it to. But there are times when a critic truly risks something, and that is in the discovery and the defense of the new. The world is often unkind to new talent, new creations, the new friends. Last night, I experienced something new, an extraordinary meal from a singularly unexpected source. To say that both the meal and its maker have challenged my preconceptions about fine cooking is a gross understatement. They have rocked me to my core. And in the past, I have made no secret of my disdain for Chef Gusteau's famous motto, anyone can cook. But I realize only now do I truly understand what he meant. Not everyone can become a great artist, but a great artist can come from anywhere. It is difficult to imagine more humble origins than those of the genius now cooking at Gusto's, who is, in this critic's opinion, nothing less than the finest chef in France. I will be returning to Gusto soon, hungry for more.
He's crying, folks.
I'm
Yeah.
just literally crying from that. It's so fucking beautiful.
And then my favorite part of that too is you realize all that undercurrents is fucking Brad Bird. He's talking about himself, right? Fucking little poor kid from Montana could come out here and fucking win Oscars. Are you joking me?
It's so beautiful.
Yeah. It's beautiful. It is beautiful.
It's Ratting's time.
It's Ratting's time, you beaut. Thermometer. I don't think people like this. Critics especially. I'm gonna guess 93.
You're within 8. It's higher. It's a 96.
96. Okay, I win. Seth loses.
And audience on Rotten Tomatoes?
97.
You're not within 8. It's an 87.
The fuck are people talking about? That's crazy. I thought I had it. I don't know. I should have gone 92 to cover the bases, but that's okay. Seth wins up.
Metascore out of 100?
85.
You're not within 8. It's 96.
Damn it. That's a high Metascore, Brandon.
And audience score out of 10?
8.3.
There you go. 8.1.
Yeah, I beat Seth. He loses.
If you would have just said 89 every time, you would have got them all. Critics averaged with a 96 and a 96 to a 96, and audiences with an 87 and an 81 for an 84. We are going to pull up where this ranks in our films. I'm going to tell you right now, it's right there at the top.
We do some bad movies sometimes.
This is ranked our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th best movie. Right below it, The Exorcist, Groundhog Day, Annie Hall, Love on a Leash. Right above it, A Brighter Summer Day, 2001: A Space Odyssey, The Shining, Alien, It's a Wonderful Life, and Spirited Away.
Our heaviest hitters, plus It's a Wonderful Life, which you guys thought was bad.
Also, plus Love on a Leash. You can't just omit that.
That's a good movie.
It's not an 8.0.
It's a good movie.
What are you giving Ratatouille?
A 9.5 on the lasagna scale. I think it might be my favorite. It might be the best animated movie now. I think it's better than Spirited Away, which probably held the title for us here on this show. Maybe Mitchells and the Machines gave you guys a shout. It's excellent. It's art, and it's a kids movie about cooking that they made into an Oscar winner. It's incredible. Yeah. What can you say?
I'm a 9.7. It's the best animated film we've done on here. It might be in the running for best animated film of all time. It's right there with some of the Pixar classics, Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, Spirited Away. It's right there. It's art at its finest, and it talks about art and it portrays art, and it's all introspective on the director himself, but also creating a movie with unseen and unsung heroes, and concepts that aren't grasped in children's movies. It's gorgeous.
That's great.
We average a 9.6. It's crazy.
We got some reviews.
We got reviews, and there are so many fucking critic reviews. I'm just going to rattle off all 6. Just give me a quick blurb after. New York Times, A.O. Scott says, a nearly flawless piece of popular art, as well as one of the most persuasive portraits of an artist ever committed to film. Thank you to the creators of this film.
Wow, that was endearing.
I know, right? Owen Gleiberman at Entertainment Weekly it says, Ratatouille has the Pixar technical magic without somehow the full Pixar flavor. It's Brad Bird's genial dessert, not so much incredible as merely sweetly edible. B.
He fucking sucks always.
Peter Traver at Rolling Stone says, what makes Ratatouille such a hilarious and heartfelt wonder is the way Bird contrives to let it sneak up on you and get a load of that score from Michael Giacchino. Perfect compliment to a delicious meal. 3.5 out of 4 stars.
Delicious.
Roger Moore at Orlando Sentinel says, what makes Ratatouille, such a hilarious. Oh wait, yeah, wait. Oh no, I accidentally copied the same review twice. Never mind, I won't give you that. So that was either Roger Moore or Peter Travers. Next one, Christy Lemire, Associated Press. She says Ratatouille is free of the kind of gratuitous pop culture references that plague so many movies of the genre. It tells a story. It's very much of our world, but it never goes for the cheap, easy gag.
That's true. Love it.
And Roger Ebert, Chicago Sun-Times.
The Grog.
A lot of animated movies have inspired sequels, notably Shrek, but Brad Bird's Ratatouille is the first one that made me positively desire one. 4 out of 4 stars.
That's great. Ratatouille with a 2 and E.
That's pretty good, but Ghost-Tatouille might be better.
Yeah, we did the sequels. You're right.
4 and then
though.
User reviews. It's right with returners. The first one's actually Plankton Rules.
This guy.
July 9th, 2007. A lot of them were like right when it came out too. He says, this film is exactly what Pixar needed to steal the thunder from DreamWorks' latest Shrek 3. In many ways, this is very ironic, as one of Pixar's best films, Monsters, Inc., was overwhelmed when it was released due to the Shrek's first success. I honestly think if Shrek hadn't been such a wonderful movie, people would have noticed Monsters, Inc. more, that it was an exceptional film. Now Pixar gets some payback with one of their best, Ratatouille. Actually, Ratatouille is probably Pixar's best film, though I did enjoy Toy Story 2 and The Incredibles. Amazing animation, excellent writing, and the rarest of rare, a completely original and captivating plot make this a winner and film that will long be remembered. I can't wait to see it again. 10 out of 10.
The Shrek Wars rage on.
A lot of Shrek. Songbird.
This it's Bethany Cox.
July 31st, 2009 says, I really loved Ratatouille. It was original, sweet, and lots of fun. This is her whole review, by the way. While not as laugh out loud funny as the 2 Toy Story films, it's definitely one of the better Pixar's and a complete delight from start to finish. Honestly, the whole family will find it just as delightful as I did, and the film has a great message. The story was highly original, if a little slow at the beginning, and deliciously engaging up to the last minute. And the animation was just spellbinding. The voice cast were very talented and all did a superb job, especially Peter O'Toole in a marvelously turn as the nasty food critic. All in all, a brilliant film that fully succeeded in what it promised to do, to make us want to cook. 8.5 out of 10 stars.
Don't know if that was necessarily a goal, but that's okay.
Snoop-a-loop.
Yes.
On May 28th, 2016, Seth says, Brad Bird and company have cooked up a nice stew of traditional animated fare. Remy is an appealing protagonist. The message is good. The animation is impeccable. Pixar delivers something very traditional from a far less than traditional source. The only change I would do is have Remy wash his hands more. There's an aversion to rats when dealing with food. The movie needs to alleviate some of that hesitation. After all, Remy goes everywhere, including the sewer. 8 out of 10.
Stupid. That's a dumb man's review. Come on, Seth, do better. You Toss Mask on here?
I do.
Okay. Is he next?
He's 2 away. Prismark 10 is next on December 11th, 2016.
He's usually a dumbass too. Let's hear it.
He says, Rat in me kitchen. This is a breezy film with rats in the kitchen cooking the food rather than taking it away, although we do see that as well. The love angle is boring and predictable as far as the few obligatory chase scenes in the streets and the river of Paris. Yet I could not help wondering how Pinkava's film would have turned out instead. 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I told you he was dumb. I knew it. That's stupid. You read the plot summary of the movie. Rats in the kitchen, except they're cooking it. Sometimes they take it away.
And there's love, yeah. What about Cost Mask?
I'm a notorious dumb fuck, so let's hear it.
January 27th,
he's like over 1 million. I'd be surprised, but go for it.
He says, smells like another Pixar hit, and it tastes and looks like one too. So maybe Cars wasn't really Pixar's best movie. It really wasn't, although if that's the baddest they get, then they don't have to worry at all. But they made up for that with this movie. I can only recommend this highly. Doesn't matter if you're young or old or even between. All you have to do is watch it. Unless you have a fear of rats or animated movies, of course. 9 out of 10.
Oh yeah, with the rodent warning. Thank you, Costas.
2 rodent warnings from him in this
Huge.
month.
Huge, just lack of brains up there. What do you got next?
CC the Movie Man -1, another returner.
He's pretty good usually. Yeah.
February 3rd, 2009. He says, I gave it 2 shots on regular DVD and Blu-ray. And both times, I never finished the film. I just lost interest. Only the mouse was likable enough for me. The humans were all too annoying to enjoy the film. These other characters were either too loud, obnoxious, nasty, or irritating, including the kid whom the rat helped. All of these characters did was give me a headache with their yelling and screaming. You have to love the silent mouse, though. 5 out of 10.
What a weird review. All right, I take it back next.
And my last 2, there's 8 today. My last 2 are newcomers. First one is Thunder King 6. He says, a meh movie, very weak in excitement level. The movie just felt gray and gloomy. The movie is of a rat that helps a human become a good chef. Then there's the villain, and Disney had to make him look ugly. Another empty Disney movie without a purpose. Why should anyone watch this? I wouldn't watch this again. Overall, a horrid movie that I've not seen in 2 decades, going on 3. 5 out of 10.
That doesn't add up. He's going on 3 decades of not having watched Ratatouille.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Coming up. No, it hasn't been 30
17 years ago.
Yeah, what the fuck? 1 going on 2, you idiot.
Yeah, a lot of these shows. We've got a lot of negative reviews, but let's bring it home.
He gave it this scathing review, and then the lowest he could possibly give it was 5 out of 10, though.
He's a tough fuck.
I try and find ones to add a little spice. Couldn't. And my last is by Cubs and Culture on January 1st, 2021. This might be one of my favorite reviews I've ever read. There's a purity to much of this film as it celebrates life's everyday joys and sorrows. So much of the humor drives from the concept of a rat wanting to be a cook, and that it might come across as basic or rote for the inattentive viewer. But if you look closer and savor the film's visual grace, the subtlety, wit of the screenplay, and charming score, you will find a flavorful film indeed. My favorite bird film, 10 out of 10.
That was elegant. I thought it was going to be like a jokey one, but that was beautiful.
No. Just a beautiful review. And
film.
Are you recommending it? Of course we are.
Yeah, we are. I was going to say no, jokingly. We are.
And our masterpiece, that is
a deserving masterpiece.
The Pet Pals. Well.
We kill our pets now. Next month, after the bracket, which is next week, right? Correct. We're doing another themed one. So we're doing ball month, baby.
Basketball Bros.
Which we are known. That is what they call us. We've played many a ball together, have we not, Mr. Snedeker?
We have.
Mr. B. Snedeker?
Oh man. We have.
Yeah.
And then after that, another themed month, the Space Sluts. And then
you know it.
A big old birthday month, and then it's over.
Well, and we got more stuff to do.
Yeah, I mean there will be, but that is ending it. Thanks for listening, folks. You know what? You sat through this whole season. You don't have to look at the sun if you don't want to. Treat yourself to Heath Bar, perhaps. It's a tasty treat. Sounds really good. I'm gonna go treat myself to a Heath Bar. I'm gonna log off. On me, Brandon. Thank you. I appreciate it. Good douche. Fucking Heath Bar. That's crazy. And guess what? My phone's at 2%, so I might have to dip out right quick here. I think I charge my phone while it goes on. It overheats, so I staved it off. But I'll get this uploaded and sent to you, and I'll put the ballots in tomorrow because I actually should have my prep tomorrow. Okay. Whoops. Ratatouille 2. Okay. We'll have to figure out a time to coordinate what our votes are going to be. There are some that are minimal, but I put stuff in. I just have to add some tangents and we can pick from those. Oh, yeah. Sick. I'll put them in by tomorrow, I promise. Okay. Is Seth putting votes in too? Probably not. He only watched 3 of the films. Better than Devin deals sometimes. Yeah. All right, see you, bud. See ya. Peace. Have a Heath Bar. I'll have a Heath Bar.